Okay, Billy Joe, thank you for taking some time to meet with me today. And what we want to talk about, you are the president of Casamba,
That's
a
correct.
software company for rehab. And we were talking earlier about some pain points that you're seeing in the industry now that your company is dealing with.
Yeah, there are a lot of pain points going on in the post-acute care continuum today. I think I've been in the industry for 20 plus years, and we've hurdled PPS and all of those changes, but I really feel like today we are struggling with more changes, more pain points, more things going on in our industry than ever. And prior to coming to Casamba, I was an operator, operating contract therapy, and also was the senior vice president of operations for a skilled nursing facility. So I feel like I've been close to those lines where the action is, absolutely. I'm seeing the main pain points that we at Casamba are dealing with. Number one is the issue of our data fragmentation. That's really key because there are so many constituents that are looking at a post-acute care provider's data today. And it's almost staggering at what they're being asked for. They're trying to participate in hospital networks to kind of gain market share from their hospital partners. They're participating with bundled payment groups and working with conveners to do better with their bundled payment networks. They're working with accountable care organizations. They're really being asked to provide data from a lot of different folks. And it's hard to compare one skilled nursing facility to another because one thing that we lack in the post-acute care arena across the board is standardization for what are outcomes, how are they measured? And it's really hard to compare and expect any consistency in that. I see that as one of the biggest challenges, and whether it comes from your contract therapy or your therapy documentation and your therapy data or your skilled nursing data, it's still really hard to compare what is one outcome versus another. So definitely data fragmentation is key and something that we're not used to in the post-acute care arena. I feel like in our past we've often operated in silos. For instance, skilled nursing facility, they took care of the patient, of the resident, then they passed them on to home health or to outpatient, but it was very siloed in the approach. And with the changes in the regulatory environment, we're going to be forced to really share our data. And interoperability is even more important, so that if your system isn't able to interface with other systems that also provide really important information, you're kind of you're at risk there for not having everything you need to know before you make good care decisions. But that's one of the pain points. And I think that healthcare decisions in the future are going to be really geared toward using powerful, real-time predictive analytics. And that's one of the things that we at Casamba have spent a lot of focus toward, developing our predictive analytic tools. And we presented them last night here at AHCA and with a group of our customers, and they were really excited about it. Having real-time data that helps them compete is something they've been really begging for a long time.
So it's going to be daily.
It's daily. It's real-time information. So it's going to help them compete and know what their outcomes are, how well they perform with a certain diagnostic group, or how well they perform for a certain hospital or for a certain physician group. They really need that to be competitive. And coming from an operations background, I knew what our customers, what Casamba customers need to be able to compete. So our analytics is built around that. And also taking in mind what their customers need, the skilled nursing facilities, the items that they're going to need to be competitive as well. So I feel like we're kind of really looking at our customers' needs and their customers' needs and building our analytics to better meet that population and to really address that market.
Will that flow into the nursing home software?
Absolutely. We have spent a lot of time and energy making our interfaces with the PCCs, the AHTs, the matrix cares of the world, making our interfaces very robust so that information flows, from end to end, and that the providers can have everything they need to make good care decisions. So fragmented data is something I think we will continue to deal with because it's been it's been a problem for a long time, and those issues don't get resolved quickly. So. The other thing, what I've been here at some of the sessions, one of the topics that's on everyone's lips is PDPM, patient-driven payment models, and what that equates to is just it's a value-based reimbursement. And while I think it's great for the industry, I think it's about time that we've really been able to provide services based on value and what the patient needs and become very patient-centric. The concept is really good, but delivering that is going to be the challenge because there's no guideline. And we've always had guidelines for the most part as to how do you deliver care? How do you kind of delve out how much therapy, how much nursing, what's a skilling service? Those things have been points that we've been catered to with the system. For instance, PPS kind of told us how many minutes to deliver. And today, therapists and therapy providers are going to be tasked with how do I negotiate this with my customer? Therapy providers, they know how to deliver excellent care. They know how to drive a treatment plan for a patient. But now we really have to work with our customers, our long-term care customers. And that's something that we haven't had to do in the past. So I think there's going to be a real culture shift that we'll all go through. And I think it won't be as easy as some might expect, because I think that we haven't really worked as well in an interdisciplinary fashion as we can and will need to going forward.
Right.
But that's only one thing, and I think what providers have to be ready to do, and contract therapy providers, is to be able to share their data story and really highlight their successes and what they're good at. And that's one thing that Casamba is assisting with, in that we're delivering, that real-time data so that you can look at where am I making the most, outcome? Where am I making the biggest difference and the best outcome? And even from a financial standpoint, where am I delivering the best health care value for the dollar? Because in the future, the delivery of healthcare service, it's going to have to be based on the healthcare outcome, and that outcome will have to be defined as the patient's outcome and the cost for that outcome. So that's something I think that we're all learning or starting to really talk about more succinctly, and how we're going to do this together. And it's an exciting time. And I think from the skilled nursing facility standpoint, there's going to be a great need for them to specialize and really know what they do well as well, because I think with that specialization, it will allow an improved outcome and less clinical variation in their care delivery. So I think we'll work more and more together to figure out what population are we doing a great job with, and really be able to sell that story. Because I think that's the key, is knowing your data and being able to show that story.
And you're going to have clients relying on the software more than they ever have too.
Absolutely.
For the data. So
absolutely.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your time this morning, Billie Jo. Nice to see you.
All right.
And thank you very much.
Thank you.